What's up guys, Dark Midnight here, back for another video where today I want to recommend you guys my 3 top graphics cards for under $200 in 2024. Now before I start, I would ask you while you're here, just like and subscribe please. It's easy, it's free, and it lets me keep making videos like this, and it lets me buy stuff to make better videos. So I appreciate you liking and subscribing, and yeah, since you did that, let me give you my quick tips. So the first GPU I want to talk about is the GTX 1660 Super. Now I want to talk about this GPU first because this is the current GPU I have actually. And I mean the GTX 1660 is an amazing GPU. I got mine for about $170, but you can usually pick one of these up for under $150 in the used market. I got mine brand new, so it was a little bit more. But I mean, you get, for that cheap price, you get 6 gigs of VRAM, just over 2,000 CUDA cores, and it'll run any game you think of at 1080p in most games, as long as they're not brand new. Will run at, maximum settings and still get around 60 FPS at 1080p. I mean, if you look at my GTA 5 gameplay right now, I'm getting about 60s, which is usually when I'm not recording a video, I get around 80 to 100, and this is maximum settings 1080p, 4 times MSAA, which almost equals up to 1440p. So yes, I recommend the 1660 Super, and one of the main things about the 1660 Super is how low the power consumption is. I mean, like, this GPU, for me, at max, it'll only really consume, like, 130 watts of power when I overclock it. And for 130 watts, like, you can get, like, an old office computer and get a free card. I mean, get a card where you don't need, excess power. And I mean, it's just a good card. But what if you want ray tracing? Then I would recommend GeForce. Don't worry, I'll get to AMD here soon. I recommend the GeForce RTX 3050. Now if you want to run down on the RTX 3050, and I'll probably recommend more than 3 cards in this video, just because I have all the time to do so. The reason I recommend the RTX 3050 is because 3050 is just a super good card. If you want a quick rundown on what you should think of the 3050 as, the RTX 3050 is just a slightly worse version of the GTX 1660 Ti. So the RTX 3050 is about the same as a GTX 1660 Super. The RTX 3050 is basically I'm talking about the 6GB 3050, I should make that clear. The 6GB RTX 3050 is about the same as, say, a GTX 1660 Super, right? It's the same as if you're getting 6 gigs of VRAM, I think just over 2,000 CUDA cores, and around the same power consumption. But the only difference is the 3050 comes with ray tracing, so you can enjoy all your RTX and DLSS. So in the long term, the RTX 3050 6GB would actually get better performance and more FPS than the GTX 1660 Super, because you can enable DLSS and get 10-15 FPS more. And you get ray tracing. I mean, what's not to love? Actually, the RTX 3050 is such a good card where I would actually recommend skipping over the 1660 Super and just getting a 3050. Sorry, because 3050 I think is an amazing GPU for the money, and I think Nvidia absolutely hit the jackpot with that GPU. So yeah, that's the second GPU I recommend, the RTX 3050. Now let's go to AMD for a little bit, and I want to talk about the RX 6600. Now this GPU, I think, actually has 8 gigs of VRAM. But again, AMD is known for being a slightly cheaper card. AMD is known for having better value. However, I would only recommend AMD if you're not a content creator. If you make YouTube videos for a living, or like you make YouTube videos or you stream videos, I would stick to the NVIDIA options that I have in this video, as NVIDIA has better encoders and all that kinds of stuff, which will help you more efficiently and be better off creating YouTube videos. But if you're just strictly a gamer, you just want to play these games at good FPS and not pay an arm and a leg, then that's where AMD comes into place. And in this case, the RX 6600 comes with 8 gigs of VRAM, crap ton of CUDA cores. Honestly, I didn't even do all that much research, so I'm not 100% sure. But all I know is it's a great GPU. I would highly recommend it. However, another downside with the RX 6600, you can't slot it in a normal office PC, so you have to have, I think, at least like a 500 watt power supply. While with the RTX 3050 6GB, you only really need like 200 watts. Not that I would buy a 200 watt power supply, but what I mean is like, sorry, that was mean, my fault. But what I mean is like, you can plop a 3050 or a 1660 Super in a cheap office PC and build yourself a budget Optiflex. And you can get a ray tracing office computer. And actually, now you might be wondering. Now, alright, so I want to recommend another option. Sorry, this other option is just buying a more expensive GPU. Now, let me talk. I know you're like, I clicked on this video to find under $200 GPUs. I didn't click on this video to be told to pay more. In this day and age, you do not need to pay more than $200. You can pay under $200 and still get a perfectly good experience. What I mean, here's the number one way that I think you can make money quick and get a much better GPU than what I'm currently mentioning, which I guess translates to better GPU than me. And that's by building and selling gaming PCs. That's a job that I'm probably going to get into here in the future. And I think you guys should too, honestly. Because if you have $200 to spend on this graphics card, you can build a $200 gaming PC. It's hard, super difficult, and you're not gonna make the most profit. Build a $200 gaming PC, make sure it's decent, sell it for $300, keep the process going. Build a $300 gaming PC, sell it for $400. Build a $400 gaming PC, sell it for $500. Build a $500, $600, etc. You get what I mean. And eventually, you could have, if you're patient enough, you could have thousands of dollars spent on a GPU, but honestly, you wait like a couple months, you could still have, $500 spent on a GPU. For $500, if you do enough looking around, you can get an RTX 3070, which is a good 1440p card. And it has DLSS and ray tracing, which is stuff that I would recommend having. I don't have it, I still use FSR. But I'm using a GTX GPU. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the recommendations. One honorable mention is also the Intel Arc A380. Forgot to talk about that one. Intel Arc A380, 6GB card once again. And it's a really good card. Intel's come a long way. It has good drivers. The A380 can fit in any PC. I just think get a good PC. Intel is definitely a viable option nowadays. Now anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, remember to please like and subscribe. It's easy, it's free. Ignore the pauses that I've had in this video. I didn't exactly write a script or anything. But yeah, happy GPU hunting. And also, hey, you guys might be thinking, if you want to have see a more in-depth review on the GTX 1660, click on the video in the top right corner. In that video, I give you a more in-depth review on the GTX 1660 Super, and you'll see what FPS you get with a more average system rather than a Ryzen 9 or stuff like that. And yeah, other than that, click on this video so you can get another review. Go ahead, click on it. I'll see you there. Goodbye.